Good evening. President Bongbong Marcos is ordering relevant government agencies to seek the repatriation of former Bicol Representative Zaldy Co. In a palace briefing on Tuesday, January 13, Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla says Marcos gave directive despite the absence of an extradition treaty between the Philippines and Portugal. According to Remulla, Co was reportedly last located in Portugal. He says Co is believed to have held a Portuguese passport for the past 10 years.
Pero nagbigay na instructions sa President na formally mag-apply na kami ng extradition treaty sa kanila kahit wala pang formal extradition treaties between the two countries. Pero through the Interpol, magre-request na kami ng repatriation ni Zaldy Co kung nasa Portugal talaga siya. We do not practice extrajudicial means of acquiring jurisdiction over a person. So we will always go through the rational, legal, and acceptable ways of acquiring jurisdiction over a person.
Co is facing arrest based on a warrant issued by the Sandigan Bayan. Co and 15 others are accused of graft and malversation tied to a substandard 289.5 million peso flood control project in Oriental Mindoro. The former lawmaker has denied the allegations of budget insertions and kickbacks from infrastructure projects. He has refused to return to the Philippines due to reported threats to his life. Contractor Discaya pleads not guilty to charges of graft and malversation of public funds in connection with a ghost of flood control project in Davao Occidental. Discaya enters her plea during her arraignment on Tuesday morning, January 13, before the Regional Trial Court Branch 27 in Lapu-Lapu City, Cebu. She was arraigned alongside St. Timothy Construction President Maria Roma Rimando and 8 officials of the Department of Public Works and Highways who are also facing charges in the case. All the accused denied the allegations against them and maintained their innocence during the arraignment. The case centers on a 96.5 million peso ghost flood control project in Davao Occidental. Investigators said the project was paid for using public funds despite being either partially completed or not implemented at all. Authorities alleged that documents were processed and payments released as if the project had been properly carried out, resulting in the alleged misuse of government funds. Prosecutors accused the respondents of conspiring to approve, fund, and release payments for the questioned project in violation of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act and laws on malversation of public funds. Senate President Tito Sotto gives an assurance that he will act with dispatch on any impeachment case transmitted to the upper chamber under his watch. Sotto was asked on Tuesday, January 13, about the planned filing of impeachment complaints against President Bongbong Marcos and Vice President Sara Duterte. At first, Sotto declines to comment on the impeachment complaints' impact on the country's economy and stability. But in a message to reporters, Sotto questions if these impeachment complaints will both pass in the House of Representatives. Sotto says it is premature to even talk about it at this point, more so for the Senate to make any preparations. However, Sotto vows to act on the impeachment articles forthwith when it reaches the Senate. Senior House Deputy Minority Leader Representative Edgar Arice earlier revealed an impeachment move against Marcos. He said the possible complaint is in connection with the alleged budget insertions by his cabinet members and allies in Congress. On the other hand, a fresh impeachment complaint against Duterte is expected to be initiated in the House of Representatives as the one-year ban on filing a complaint against Duterte will lapse on February 6. Sotto's predecessor, Senator Chis Escudero, had been criticized for his failure to act swiftly on the impeachment case against Duterte when it was endorsed by the House in February last year. Months later, Escudero and 18 other senators voted to archive the complaint against the vice president. Sotto was among the 4 senators who voted against the archiving of the complaint. The Anti-Money Laundering Council says the value of frozen assets linked to anomalies in flood control projects has reached 21.2 billion pesos. In a press briefing on Tuesday, January 13, Bureau of Customs Deputy Chief of Staff Attorney Chris Noel Bendijo says the frozen assets are comprised of bank accounts, e-wallets, insurance policies, motor vehicles, and air assets. The Independent Commission for Infrastructure's Technical Working Group conducted on Tuesday its fifth asset recovery meeting. Bendio has yet to provide details about the amount that was already forfeited from the frozen assets. The customs official says the Technical Working Group will create a master list of all the assets. He says this master list will also include assets that underwent auctioning, such as the luxury cars of contractor couple Curly and Sara Discaya. ICI officials previously said forfeitures would be part of civil and administrative remedies. This includes possible criminal charges to be filed against those implicated in fraudulent public works. The Commission also emphasized that restitution of ill-gotten assets must be secured. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.